Well, welcome, everybody. I just wanted to say that, the league has done a good job of trying to, create new tournaments, new things. I think for me, going into this Leagues Cup with an open mind, we don't know how the tournament's going to play out. There's the public can't, follow all the competitions, but the two biggest leagues in this part of the world playing against each other is kind of exciting. I mean, we really good Liga MX teams, which helped us when we won Champions League, because those experiences playing the year prior against some of the top teams from Liga MX helped us. And, so I'm looking forward to the tournament. I think it's exciting. Monterrey is a good team. Obviously, RSL is one of the hottest teams in MLS. So it's going to be a tough competition, but we're ready for it.
Great. Jackson, you want to lead us off in here?
Yeah, for sure. Christian Auer was talking earlier this week about how when he thinks about the idea of Leagues Cup and kind of envisions playing a team like Monterrey next Sunday at least, it totally just immediately compares to last year in CONCACAF. When you think about, putting yourself in the shoes of tomorrow night and then next Sunday, do you connect with that kind of feeling, or is it, for at least tomorrow at MLS? How do you exactly, look at these games here?
I would say I relate it more to Champions League. However, it's only one leg, right? It's only a one-game series or one game, and we have to treat it like that, right? It's like almost like a knockout game, because at that point we'll know where we are in the group. And so these games, whether it's in the group or knockout games, is going to prepare us for the playoffs. It's going to prepare us for Champions League moving forward, and other type, maybe even Club World Cup games. So that's the way we look at it, and I think it's a positive way to look at it.
Jose Moreno, BBC. Brian, you have an opportunity to now utilize matches like this as also something you guys have thought about, and the ability to see other players and that don't necessarily have to come up for CONCACAF League. That they may be playing their second tier, not second tier, I apologize, that's not the right term, their B team, or throwing a more less experienced squad that you guys can then look at and see us.
You're talking about like Monterrey or something?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what the coach of Monterrey is going to do. I don't know if he's going to play his, starting team, some reserve, sprinkle, mix, whatever. Always playing in Champions League, though, and some of these competitions, you always look at the other team, the opponent. There were some very good players on Lyon that we would like to have. But, I don't think that's our number one job. We have a whole scouting department that does all of that research, but it's certainly interesting for us as coaches when you see the players who you're playing up against. Could be. There might be a diamond in the rough somewhere.
Owen Murray, Sports Network. Christian, I just wanted to ask, is it easier to think of this as kind of an extension of the MLS season, or is it easier to have it like as a new start, as a new competition? Yeah,
definitely a new start. We all start at zero, right? And I think that's kind of how we look at the playoffs as well. Whatever happened in the regular season happened, and we're right now in a bit of a hole in the MLS season, so it's a great way to kind of re-energize and get back onto the winning train. And so for us, it's about a fresh start, and how are we going to compete? I always feel like knockout games kind of get the best out of us, and so we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, Christian, going back to the final in Vegas a couple of years ago, you had a big moment in that one, and ultimately it ends in unfortunately defeat. Going back to that game and the festivities around it, and the whole, how about that final? What do you remember about that game and just the feelings coming out of it at the end?
Yeah, obviously frustrating feelings at the end of that game. But like Coach Schmetz said, it's about those experiences and what we gain from them. I remember in that Leagues Cup final in particular, that game was about moments. We lost in 5-10 minutes when we fell asleep, when we took plays off, and I think we corrected those mistakes in Champions League and understood that you can't take plays off because these teams have so much quality in the final third that they can really hurt you.
I would add to that, Jackson, that look, Raul clanked one off the post and we could have gone up 2, and timely goal scoring, which is what we kind of need now. But Raul helped us, Freddie Montero helped us in that Champions League run. We scored timely goals during that competition. Raul's goal against Santos at the end there. I mean, there were some good goals and timely goals.
So do you, just quickly follow up, do you then lean on the experience of players who then went through Leagues Cup a couple of years ago?
Well, the team's changed a little bit, but yeah, we have an experienced squad for sure. Different format back then, but certainly we have an experienced team that does well in knockout competitions.
Jose Moreno, BBC. How exciting are you at the possibility of expanding the brand into Mexico and taking that our brand of soccer, Seattle's brand of soccer, into a hostile territory where you can then feed off that crowd, feed off that energy. Monterrey fans are extremely passionate about their soccer, and they do a really good job of representing their club when they're there. How excited are you to then get the opposite of what we get here in Seattle?
Yeah, I think for me, just expanding our sport around the world in general, like, the Club World Cup, for example, gaining that experience, and now tapping into the Liga MX, almost like our two leagues kind of merging in a way. This is a great month to be able to grow the game in North America, and hopefully we see some quality soccer on both sides. But for us, look, we still want to do well in the tournament. We want to win as much as see, and experience a different type of soccer.
We've had some success down in Monterrey. I mean, we actually we lost one game when Suazo, I think the name was, came on and scored a couple of goals. But we've actually been to Monterrey. We understand the passion that the fans have. It'll be good experience for them to come up here and take a look at what Sounder fans have.
Yeah, Owen Murray, Sports Network. Brian, I just wanted to ask about Alex and then Jordan, who's obviously, you've seen Jordan again today, I assume. And then
He'll be
Alex,
in training today.
Yeah, sat out on Tuesday, just where they are fitness-wise.
They're all 100%. Look, these guys, Christian, Jordan, Alex, they had extended minutes or extended travel, I should say, throughout the Gold Cup. So picking the right time to give them a little bit of a mental break is critical.
Any other questions? All righty, Franco, all you via Zoom. I think we've got some hands up already, but I'll toss it to you.
Yes, thank you, Matt. First of all, thank you for the media members on site for the questions. Now we're going to transition to the Zoom portion of it. Just a reminder to raise your hand if you have questions. We're going to start now. Please state your name and your outlet when you are given the question. Nico Moreno.
Thank you, Franco. Nico Moreno, Pulso Sports. 2 quick questions for Brian. One, RSL is a team that's so deep that they have been tinkering with their starting 11 in the last couple of games. How difficult is it to prepare for a team that might, shift so many ways in the way they might approach you? And the second one, Yemer Gomez-Andrade seemed to pick up a knock this week in training. It seemed like he was off to the side. Just wondering where he is health-wise.
Yaimar's fighting through a couple of, I'll answer that one because that's easy. Yaimar's fighting through some small niggly injuries. When we have guys go off the training field, sometimes it's just because we want to rest. We want to be careful. He's had a lot of minutes. He's played extended minutes. So he'll be fine. He'll feature in the game. And as far as RSL is concerned, Pablo's done a fantastic job. The team is believing that they can win. They obviously signed a very top goal scorer. And, then you have the old guys, Savarino, Krylek, Justin Glad. They've got a solid team, but their belief that they can start winning games and have games. That's been a key to their success.
Next question, Jeremiah Ocean.
Hey, Jeremiah O'Shan from Sounder Heart. Cristian, this will be assuming you play in this game, this will be the first time you've played 2 straight Sounders games for, I don't know.
He's going to play, Jeremiah. He's going to play.
Yeah, I mean, this will be the first time you played 2 straight games in I don't know, 4 months or something. How excited are you, or what's your feeling around just sort of being able to get a consistent run of games with the Sounders?
Yeah, I think for me, this year has been a bit of a frustrating year, health-wise. Then leaving, my team for 6 games. It's been a difficult year, and obviously, I wish that I would be available for more games. But for me, this is a great time to get that chemistry back with my teammates and play good soccer and win and score goals and be a team that's really exciting. And I think we have that. It's great that everybody's healthy at the moment for the most part, and this will be a great way for me to get back in a positive way for myself after such a frustrating year.
And I guess, Brian, on the same token, what are your feelings? We've talked a lot about what this team will look like once it's healthy, once you have everybody. What are your feelings around sort of being able to put that to the test?
Well, number one, I love having Cristian back. He's a critical part of our team. Love having Jordan come back from the Gold Cup. Alex, look, we still have some injuries. Javi's still down and Kellen Rowe's still down, so we're not completely back to 100%. But we have a really good squad, Jeremiah. And I've gone on record, and I've also said it into the group settings of the team. If the playoffs started tomorrow, I'm not sure exactly what the starting lineup would look like. I think there's true competition for spots on this team. We have a tremendous couple of young kids that have come up and put pressure on the coaching staff as far as decisions are concerned. And you've got old guys that are, well, I shouldn't say old, I apologize. We have experienced players that have done the job for us in the past that all deserve playing time as well. So we will use these last, 10 regular season games plus the 2 games here, and hopefully we get out of group and we play some knockout games. And the starting lineup may look similar if the playoffs started tomorrow, or if we wait 10 games from now, might look a little different. You never know.
Thank you, Jeremiah. We're going to go with the next question. Masvira Marer.
Yeah, Masvira Marer for CascadiaSports.net. Hey, Brian, and I guess Cristian as well, the familiarity of playing an opponent that you've played already, does anything change, or is it really about the in-game adjustments that you all have to make once the whistle?
We know RSL pretty good. We've played against them twice already. So, I mean, we know them fairly well. Obviously, Chicho coming on, that's a little different, but, we've scouted them extensively through film, and we'll do our normal, pre-game stuff. It's helpful to know your opponent.
And Cristian, just the excitement of, and I think you talked about this early at the top, but just the excitement for the players to be in a tournament, there's that extra feel. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's exciting to start fresh. It re-energizes the group a little bit. You have the chance to, control your own destiny. I think the beauty of being in a tournament format is, there's pressure, and there's pressure in every game. And I think that's what our guys live up for. We've seen really big moments in our franchise, on knockout games, and hopefully we can gain more experience in that realm, especially against Liga MX opponents.
Thank you, Masvira. Next question for Felipe Maqueda.
Gracias, buenos días, profesor Brian and Cristian. Mi pregunta para Coach Brian es, ¿qué tan estresante es jugar el torneo de liga y qué tan estresante es jugar este nuevo torneo de Leagues Cup? Y para Cristian, ¿cómo te sientes una vez más participan en un torneo que es conocido para ti, para ustedes? Ya han llegado a la final. En esta ocasión, ¿cuál es el objetivo de Cristian Roldan?
Coach, the translation from Felipe is for the question is how different it is to compete on the regular MLS season compared to competing in Leagues Cup. How does it change?
Well, it changes because it is a different format. It's a 3-team group, which is interesting. A lot of times there's 4 teams in a group, and the tie-breaking rules, straight to penalty kicks. So there are some differences. Look, the prize money, you want to talk about motivation, there's good prize money here with this tournament. The prestige of being the first team to win something has always been ingrained by us. That was Ziggy always said, it's always a good thing to be the first team to do something. We're the first team to win CONCACAF Champions League. Would it be great to be the first MLS team to win League Cup? That would be great. So lots of motivations, lots of differences, subtle differences in the games and the rules, but it's still soccer. It's still our sport, and we'll compete against a couple of good teams, and we'll try and live up to the moment.
Felipe, do you need translation for that? ¿Necesitas traducción para eso?
No, estoy bien.
Ok. La pregunta para Cristian, ¿puedes repetirla nuevamente?
Sí, Cristian, este torneo ya no es nuevo para ustedes, ya han llegado a la final de este torneo. Mi pregunta para Cristian es, ¿cuál es el objetivo primordial de Cristian Roldan en particular?
¿En español o en inglés?
En español, por favor.
Para mí es un torneo nuevo, completamente nuevo, porque hay fase de grupo. Antes no había eso y era solo casi partidos de eliminatorias. Y bueno, ahora para mí mi objetivo es hacer mis compañeros mejor en el campo, porque la verdad no ha estado aquí mucho tiempo, y ojalá ayudar físicamente y también con la pelota, y pues hacer el mejor compañero que puedo ser.
Gracias, Felipe. Next question, Jaime Méndez.
Yes, can you hear me fine?
Yes, I can hear you, Jaime.
Okay, una pregunta en español para Cristian. Cristian, observando cómo está en este momento el equipo en la Liga MLS y comparándolo con Leagues Cup, para ti, ¿qué tan importante es un buen desempeño en Leagues Cup? ¿Y qué tanto sacrificio están ustedes dispuestos a hacer para llegar más lejos en Leagues Cup cuando todavía el juego puede mejorar en el torneo de la MLS? Y en español, por favor.
Es muy importante para nosotros hacer bien en Leagues Cup, porque pues si perdés no tienes partidos para 2-3 semanas, y para nosotros mantener nuestro ritmo para jugar fútbol con los titulares que tenemos físicamente bien, tenemos que mejorar, y pues si perdemos no vamos a andar jugando partidos, y para nosotros, para mantener ritmo, es muy importante hacer muy bien en Leagues Cup.
Gracias.
Next question, John Lupo.
Hi, Brian. Cristian, just talk about playing an opponent that you're very familiar with. Obviously, they're having a good season. And what do you think some of the keys will be? And do you think in a competition like this, it helps you to sort of play an opponent that you know and that you've already played?
Yeah, John, we answered that a little bit ago. I think I saw you jump on the call. Yeah, it's helpful. it's helpful to play against a familiar opponent. Obviously, with Chicho's arrival, that changes things, but we certainly played against him at LAFC, so we know the player. But yeah, it's a tough venue to play in. It'll be hot. But last time we went there, we had a draw and it was a good game. I thought we controlled or had control of some parts of the game. So we'll be ready.